My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China.
The Biden crime family has been exposed yet again. Surprise, surprise. This comes only weeks after Ashley Biden's diary is irrefutably true. We knew it was hers, but then she sends the letter to the judge saying that her life's been destroyed and her trauma that her dad put her through is being reignited, and there's new trauma being added on top of it. But what we need to touch on today is, you remember in 2020, there was the Hunter Biden laptop that was supposedly a Russian plant, where a mountain of evidence was put forth from Hunter Biden's laptop that showed that he and his father and his uncle had been working very closely to broker deals with foreign countries, namely the most corrupt, namely the ones that would do us the most harm, Ukraine, China, etc. Money laundering, influence peddling. It's no surprise this is American politics, right? The house of cards. So, remember Sandy Hook? Well, these sick bastards used a visit, Joe and Hunter, that is, used a visit to Sandy Hook Memorial Service, to set up a secret meet with China, with the Chinese, over a $10 million a year deal. New emails reveal. This is brand new information released today. It's been a drip with new tranches of information being released. But this comes at the same exact time. The very same time that Joe Biden, we'll touch on this as well, Joe Biden makes a thief in the night style visit to see his daughter, his, how do you frame this? His deceased son, Beau's widow, and Hunter Biden's former girlfriend. I'm sure you know that story, but we'll get into it. Hunter's to appear in front of a court for a trial on his illegal gun charge. So these are both happening at the same time, and ironically, Haley is involved in this story as well. So, Hunter Biden texted Chinese business partners to arrange a meeting with Joe. No, surprise, surprise. We've seen these texts, but the new emails that have been released are the most damning evidence that we've had. So Hunter used Joe Biden's appearance at a Sandy Hook memorial service to arrange a meeting between his dad and his Chinese business partners. New text reveal. The message comes from a fresh tranche of documents released by Congress on Wednesday, given to them by IRS agents who investigated the first son. Remember, you're going to hear their names. These are IRS agents specifically tasked with investigating the tax fraud and the money laundering, that they've spoken in front of the House and the Ways and Means Committee and in front of Congress and testified under oath that they cannot ignore what they're seeing. And they're Democrats. They did not vote for Trump. They're not MAGA. So these people have been, they've attempted to destroy their lives. They've called them liars. They've called them every name in the book aside from a patriot and an honest person or honest people. So December 12th, 2017, Hunter wrote on the Chinese messaging app WeChat to Liu Yedong, a top executive at Chinese oil giant CEFC. You know this name probably. You'll hear it several more times. To arrange a meeting with his father. Can you meet this evening early? Hunter wrote, my father will be in New York also, and he wants me to attend the Sandy Hook memorial service with him, and I would like him to meet you, along with my uncle, Jim Biden, and then I can talk and let me know if that works. No problem. Please let me know where and when to meet, says Yedong. This progresses, and these texts and emails show he played it off like he was texting the wrong person because he was high or drunk. But he starts to get more threatening. He starts pushing his weight around. It gets worse. So the text to set up a meeting with Joe came after months of negotiation about the Biden family's involvement in the deal with the Chinese government-linked company in exchange for $10 million a year. Now, here's where the weight pushing starts to come in. July 2017, Hunter sent threatening text to CEFC official Runlong Zhao, demanding he follow through on the $10 million deal and noting his father's involvement. Okay, pretty definitive in my book. I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Where's my money? Hunter wrote in text messages obtained by the IRS investigators and published by Congress last year. Weeks later, on August 3rd, 2017, Hunter texted CEFC associate Gongwin, that goes by Kevin, Dong, that he wanted $10 million per annum budget and that the Bidens are the best I know at doing exactly what the CEFC chairman wants from this partnership. At the time, Joe Biden held no government post. He had left the vice presidency the previous year and wouldn't be elected president until 2020. The new whistleblower documents released on Wednesday also appear to show that in November 2017, Hunter set up a group text conversation on the encrypted messaging app WhatsApp with his father and uncle, who was also a partner in his multi-million-dollar deal with the CEFC. Now, this to me sounds like influence peddling. It sounds like corruption. Maybe I'm just privy to saying that. I'm not sure. But Hunter marked one of the contacts in the three-person WhatsApp group as Jim Biden and the other as Dad. Well, maybe he was drunk and high. Maybe he was talking about someone else being his dad. Hard to really be confused on that front. So, along with Yedong's WeChat messages about setting up a meeting with Joe, the House Ways and Means Committee published a photo of Yedong's business card, which describes him as CEO of CEFC Global Strategic Holdings with an address at the United Nations Plaza in New York City. Here's where you can start seeing the money laundering come into play. Yedong helped run CEFC's sham charity, used by its chief, Patrick Ho, to funnel bribes to foreign officials. Ho was convicted of the bribery in 2018, and there's a picture of him. Well, actually, this was Sheryl Crow in December 2017, which was the 5-year memorial service for the Sandy Hook school shooting. Now, this all seems pretty definitive, pretty clear to me. Here's where Hunter, starts to threaten. I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Hunter wrote CEFC official Runlong Zhao in the text messages obtained by the IRS investigators. And this is coming from his own apps, his phone, and his iCloud backup. It's not from a laptop that is a Russian plant. It's from his own devices, his iCloud backup. The messages obtained by the IRS investigators Gary Shipley and Joseph Ziegler are new revelations, separate from the text published from Hunter's abandoned laptop. In an affidavit along with the documents, Ziegler wrote that they were obtained from a search warrant on Hunter's iCloud account, meaning they come directly from his data stored by Apple, not extracted from his abandoned laptop or another physical device. Here we go. The first son was questioned by lawmakers about his 2017 text to a CEFC official in which he demanded millions of dollars and said his father was sitting next to him and was part of the deal, which he then dismissed as drunk messages to the wrong person. You saw the clip at the very beginning. What did Joe Biden say? He didn't make money from China. That sounds like a lie on a debate stage where you're addressing the entire nation. You lie that openly. I say this with my business all the time. If I were a dishonest man, I would give you a price, and then you would be able to reasonably work me down because I had built in a bunch of profit, and then you can convince me to mark the price way down. Well, if I'm willing to sacrifice on the price, I don't have conviction and honesty in what I'm quoting people, what I'm telling them such thing will cost, well, we're just as likely to compromise on the professionalism and the quality of work. That being said, dishonesty is not something to be taken lightly. If you see someone lying profusely over and over and over, well, they're a liar. It's that simple. And then you see Hunter Biden and you see Ashley Biden. We never got to know Beau, really. Wasn't in the public eye, to my knowledge, very much. But we see Hunter and we see Ashley and their histories and their sexual addiction, their drug addiction. And we've seen the diary and the laptop and the emails and the text messages. These are crooked, evil, corrupt people. And when you have two kids that are definitively effed up, they're just shot. Well, there's trauma. There's an issue there at home. I don't think anybody's going to call Joe Biden a great dad except for CNN. So in closing here on this, he was obviously threatening. Hunter Biden lied about the recipient of a WhatsApp message sent with the apparent intention to threaten a business associate and demand payment. Committee Chairman Jason Smith claimed Wednesday. In the message, Hunter Biden twice mentioned he was with his father in the deposition. Hunter Biden sought to dismiss the message, claiming that he was either high or drunk when he sent it, and in that state, he sent it to the wrong Zhao, and not actually the one affiliated with the Chinese energy company CEFC. Hunter claimed under oath that the recipient had no understanding or even remotely knew what I was even talking about. How crazy the coincidence of sending it to the wrong Zhao. Sent it to the wrong one. But the one you sent it to is who he is with the CEFC. So, what happens here? Well, I think that they know they're in trouble and their back's against the wall. If Joe Biden knew what was happening from day to day, minute to minute, what he ate for breakfast, his back would be against the wall. I don't think that he really even knows, quite frankly. But the Democrat establishment, the establishment in general, does know that their back is against the wall, and this continues to drip out leading up to the election. The convention is coming up, and more than likely he'll be replaced. So when I say their back's against the wall and things are dripping out, what does that mean? Well, Hunter Biden has a trial coming up. And Haley Biden, in a couple of days, is testifying in Hunter's gun trial. So what does Joe Biden do? He hobbles and falls upstairs until he makes it to Haley's house, where he makes a surprise nighttime visit. President Biden made a surprise nighttime visit to the Delaware home of Haley Biden on Sunday just before she's due to serve as one of the most important witnesses at first son Hunter Biden's federal trial for alleged gun crimes. Biden stopped by Haley's home around 8 p.m. for a brief private talk 8 days before the 50-year-old first son's trial is scheduled to stand trial beginning June 3rd. Haley dated Hunter at the time of his alleged gun crimes and is one of a dozen expected witnesses. Look at that. That's the pic. That right there is our president. God. And that's his son, and that's his deceased son's wife. Dating. So you might not be well read on the Hunter Biden gun trial, which I don't blame you. It's hard to keep up with all this corruption. So what happened is Hunter Biden, and this is something else really troubling, that Hunter Biden lied on his background check where he wouldn't have been able to get a gun. He lied. We'll look at a video in a second, and what the repercussions are for just doing that, forget all the other stuff, are serious. Prison. Hunter Biden tried to pin his missing handgun on shady, probably illegal, Mexican grocery store workers after girlfriend Haley dumped it in a public trash can. That trash can it was dumped into was in Wilmington in 2018. And Hunter, the probably illegal part, Hunter was trying to blame it on Hispanic Mexican people that were working there at the facility. Said that they were possibly illegal. The first son made the controversial comments in October 2018 while being interviewed by state police looking for his handgun and bullets after his lover and brother's widow, Haley Biden, threw them in a public trash can at Jansen's supermarket in Wilmington, across the road from my high school. These people are just the image of benevolence, right? And purity, good folks, Catholics. The police search for the gun led them to obtaining Hunter's gun purchase form in which he lied about not being an addict. The criminal charge that he now faces in Delaware federal court, the trial is due to start, as we saw, June 3rd. The debacle was first revealed by news site Politico in 2021, but the police report, with all its embarrassing details, has now been published for the first time, last among pretrial filings by Delaware prosecutors. What is wrong with these people? It shows Delaware State Police wrote up Haley for stealing his Colt Cobra 38 handgun out of his truck and dumping it in the Jansen's trash can on October 23rd, 2018. One officer wrote in his report that he interviewed Hunter at the supermarket later that day about who might have fished the gun out of the trash. Hunter told the officer, Sergeant Vincent Clements, in the corruption, all this corruption we've seen, it's about to get worse. They have some shady people working at the market and gestured at 2 Mexican store workers, adding that they were probably illegal. Then brought up that his father's Joe Biden. What do you expect? His dad is Joe Biden. Throw that weight around. Hunter told Clemens that Haley threw away the gun because she was scared he would kill himself. He denied he was suicidal, but whined that he has been living in a nightmare and told Clemens to put myself in his shoes and try to feel for what it would be like to fall in love with his brother's widow, Haley, and then have everyone look at him. The report also says the CCTV of Haley appearing to dump the gun. They didn't want a student to find the weapon, obviously. That's what the cops were worried about. Okay. So, the FBI got involved. This is where the plot thickens. Intriguingly, the police report confirms that the FBI were involved in the case, helping go through the trash looking for the gun. And Hunter's texts obtained by the DailyMail.com from his abandoned laptop suggest, what do they suggest? That a senior law enforcement officer who worked with the FBI was creating a back channel to the official investigation and recommending ways that the Bidens could avoid getting in trouble with the police. Detective John Penrod is named in the police report, as you see the name, an acronym for Delaware State Police Joint Terrorism Task Forces. According to the FBI, JTTF consist of multiple agencies and work out of FBI offices. Amid the incident on October 23rd, 2018, Hunter texted Haley, and Haley, John Penrod, Haley, have David call if something like this ever happens again, aka Hunter F's up. Well, David is a reference to David Walsh, the son of Joe Biden's former law partner and decades-long friend, David Walsh Sr. Texts on the laptop show Hunter was jealous and paranoid that Haley was sleeping with Walsh Jr. Here are the texts, and the documents are below, which I can link this in the video. What we have here is a tremendously corrupt family who has not been held accountable one time, not for lying under oath, not lying to Congress, lying in criminal trials in federal courts, money laundering, influence peddling, bribery, selling our nation's secrets, selling access to the White House, brokering completely criminal deals with foreign countries who are embroiled in corruption and human trafficking, completely destroying the Constitution while in office with the rest of his crony politicians, bureaucrats, with the border, endangering American citizens and having those who could do something, Border Patrol, ICE, having them stand down instead of taking action and protecting our border and protecting our citizens. And then letting those same people commit crimes, not just being illegal and coming across the border, but commit crimes and, push for them to have no bail. They just get let out. And then weaponization of the Justice Department, where you have a political rival getting prosecuted on almost 100 charges. Almost every one of them completely fabricated. Donald Trump questioned the election, said it was illegitimate. Think of the Bush Jr. election. There's never been a true just straight, clean concession. In fact, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, they were all working together to get illegal wiretaps through the FISA court. For how long? Well, since FISA court was created, but they did it on Donald Trump. They created the Russiagate hoax. It's endless in all this corruption. And here's just another example. So Joe Biden and Hunter Biden need to go to prison for the rest of their life. They were working in an illegal influence peddling, I've said it 100 times in this video, scheme involving bribery, involving the Chinese government, the communist Chinese government, the effectively communist Ukrainian government that our CIA and our government helped the Azov battalion, got tongue-tied, the Azov battalion, Nazis, literally, helped them overthrow the Ukrainian government. And now it's a puppet in Zelensky, and working with a genocide, helping a genocide happen in the Middle East. It's the fall of, well, the entire world if we continue to let this corruption stand. So here's what happens to you when you lie on your background check and lie so that you can get a gun.
Wilcox, if a person lies on Form 4473 and is a user of unlawful drugs, you can get between 5 to 10 years for that. Is that correct? Is that my understanding?
No, I believe Congress changed the sentence last Congress.
What is that sentence now?
Up to 15.
Up to 15 years. Why hasn't Hunter Biden been prosecuted for the crime that he committed?
I'm not aware of the facts of that case and can't comment on it.
Okay, who would we talk to see why this case is not being prosecuted? I mean, he said very clearly in his book that he used drugs.
In his book.
He had a gun, at least a gun.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point of order.
Totally irrelevant and not germane to this proceeding.
Sir, he's got his 5 minutes. Go ahead, continue.
15 years.
Okay.
That's what you're supposed to get now. Finish it.
I understand why you do not want Mr. Wilcox to answer that question. It's very clear why you don't want, because there's a dual system of justice in America. Right. That's what's going on right now, and everybody's talking about it across America. There's two standards of justice that are going on.
And you love to see it. You love to see it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, please, if you're on YouTube, that is, or Rumble, like, subscribe, share it. This is the most important time in American history, so get the word out. Corruption is bad. Our government is corrupt. We have to expose it. Subscribe, like, comment. If you're on X, repost, and we'll be back again later tonight or tomorrow. Thank you, guys.